Oh, hello, friends.
Hello! Your thing clipped weird, but now it seems to be okay.
It does do that sometimes. Sorry for the delayed start. I made a new overlay, and of course everything is broken because that is the nature of streaming. So hello.
And I'm no help with that, as is the nature of streaming.
It's nothing to be done. So we had a couple announcements for you guys. I meant to make some video assets for it, but we didn't get there, so...
Apologies all around. This weekend's games were hectic.
Indeed. So, welcome. We'll do some announcements and we'll talk about what the Speakeasy is and what our intention is for it. But first and foremost, there are games this coming weekend. They are the start of April, so April's calendar is not done yet. But those games are going to be there. But we know what they are, so, not too worried, but there's been no, official announcement or schedule update on it, so this is, that thing.
Yeah, this is us saying it.
Do you want to start with Saturday?
Absolutely. So, we've hinted at it, but Saturday's game is almost Speakeasy-esque. All of you have the chance of playing, but that's not up to me. And I'm not gonna, spoil who it's up to, but your playing is basically dictated on how well you RP in that game. So that game is Sea Devil's Night. Sea Devil's Night is a holiday unique to this world. Not unique to everybody else knows about it. It's just you guys that this is your first year into it. Sea Devil's Night is the night of bloodless pranks. It starts off an entire month of bloodless, harmless pranks. So Sea Devil's Night starts it off, and then it's a contest. From that point on, we have cards in the thing, but if you want to roleplay pranking people, absolutely do it. For the entire month of April, there is a point system. If your character pranks a fellow... if your character pranks an NPC, 1 point. That's not that good. If your character pranks a fellow crew member or player that hasn't become a crew member yet, 2 points. If you prank an officer, 3 points. And that will kick off starting on Saturday. We will sell these prank cards and they will be able to be used until the end of April. At the end of April, they will all be destroyed and you'll be refunded all of them. So that's that.
Refunded, you'll get the the crystals.
You'll get the crystals, not the money back.
Option,
yeah, no.
Pranking the captain is worth the most amount of points. It is true. We'll just still see how it goes. So it will be very RP centric. So obviously it's April Fool's right on Saturday, and we figured it would be kind of a fun thing. So you feel like you get a stat amongst other things. So I thought it would be fun April Fool's vibes. So please join us for that. We do have a bunch of stuff planned for that beginning stream, for the stream that kicks it all off. But we're just kind of keeping it a little bit secret for now. But...
a little bit secret, and remember, it's bloodless. We are not looking to actually hurt pranks. You guys. Harmless pranks.
It's very much ooh, you scamp, you got me kind of level of stuff. And so for those of it, because I know that there are some of you in there that the second you heard pranks are on, super fucking excited, being oh, I got a list. I'm ready. I've been waiting. This is my moment. I know for other people thinking about that shit on the fly, myself included, absolutely never gonna happen. So that's why there are cards out there that are just easier for you to play. Little tricks, just pockets full of jello type deal. So those are out there.
I should have been a pocket full of spaghetti card. That's my bad.
Shit, we'll get on that. Don't worry. By the time you need them, the pranks will be there. And so
yeah,
the emphasis is on the harmlessness of it, and especially for Sea Devil's Night, the lore for that is that you shed no blood because it attracts the Sea Devil, and that is the last thing that anybody wants if you've been paying attention. Spaghetti bag policy is an open door spaghetti bag policy.
Oh yeah, like I sometimes you don't get let into parties unless you have a Ziploc bag full of spaghetti.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Those are the
honestly like
rules.
very Hitchhiker's Guide, where you always have to have a towel on you, always have your bag of spaghetti on you. Is all I'm saying.
Always have your bag of spaghetti. You never know when you need like it's great. It's like confetti, like
It's
for a party.
multi-purpose, honestly.
Yeah, you do not get any points for pranking yourself. You actually lose points if you prank yourself. Like if your prank backfires and you somehow prank yourself, whoever you were trying to prank gets gets the points instead of you.
Oh, I actually really like that art. Can you throw that in suggestions? For those of you that are like on the newer side, the bag of spaghetti thing has been like an ongoing internal joke. It's for the best if you don't know the like.
Yeah, it's for the best if you have no idea what we're talking about.
It's
You don't
for the
need to.
best.
You don't need to see that
You
video.
don't need that trauma.
That video is hiding. It's not for you.
The clips are out there, but don't. Toast, you say shit like that. I just pictured like you like in the future when you're like a decrepit old man talking to your fucking grandkids, being like, "Oh, I remember my favorite Valentine's date." That's the thing you say.
I watched this guy on the internet put his feet in Ziploc baggies full of oregano. It's like, why?
It was a different time.
It's a different time. The internet was fresh. It's like now you just every street corner.
The clips are out there, Ro, like from some of them. They are surreal, but they are on Twitch. But the actual complete VOD itself is not. It is hidden.
I don't think like that. It like Cossack, you would like. I'm not saying that we weren't aware, but you like loving it has so
like,
so little
the way you
to.
do. Yeah, no, it was the foundation. Like that event is not like the source of that, but it is.
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's not.
Oh god.
All right, and then on Sunday, April 2nd, we are doing the web ball game. We are doing the 8 players, like 4 versus 4 web ball game. We're going to be playing the game Varsity. It's a Blades in the Dark. Not Blades in the Dark. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse sports game. It's amazing. It's super easy. And then all 8 of them are going to play web ball against each other. We're going to have the home team and the away team. Think more. Oh, God.
Go ahead.
I was like, think more sports entertainment than actual sport. Like arena football, where it's basically wrestling and football like got together and made some kind of weird monstrosity. That's what we're looking for. Go sports.
So I believe the teams currently are Professor Owner and Shire, like Nickel but not Nickel, and Usiria. And Vatna, No, Vatna was for Soki, right? Fuck. Who did you say? God damn it. My bad. My notes are like a fucking shit show right now. So Prof nominated Clem to be on that team, if that is good for you, Clem. And then I think it's Not Forgiven and Ro and Vatn on the other team, I think. Which means there is an extra spot in each game that'll be open sign up, and I will get those up for you tomorrow, because it won't be tonight, but so there will be some free slots for you to sign up for them.
And if you're worried that you don't know how to play web ball, that's fine. None of us do. We don't actually know the rules to this game, and we've played it like 3 times. So, we know that it involves balls that come out of like, it used to come out of a different dimension. They don't anymore. I bet there's ball launchers now. Technology has to keep up with the fact that we don't have the same levels of magic.
Yeah, no, just go in being like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm here for it. So that is on Sunday the 2nd. So it's more looser format games for the 2 of those, and they should be very goofy and fun and just a heckin' good time.
Yeah, and if you guys want to prank each other while they're playing, like, well, you got 8 of them on screen, fucking do it.
This is a great time to be doing it, is all I'm saying.
It's like 8 targets instead of the usual 4.
And then just in general for the rest of this week, on Wednesday, we have a game because it is Carrie / Rosie and Rob / Nameless's birthday. /
Bobbert.
/ Bobbert. So we're gonna do a little birthday game, and I'm sure that'll be just fine. So join us for that. And then Friday is the Patreon game, which is set in Blades in the Dark. It is set in a different part of the world, where the 4 players for that game will be embodying characters other than themselves. So you get introduced to 4 characters that exist out in the world, which should be fun. And a little teaser for what's out there.
Hey, before we actually get started on this thing, Ox, I was thinking the other day, did you ever play 14? Did you find this community because of like the art aspect of it?
Yeah.
How did Ox get here? Like, I love the fact that Ox is here, but my first interaction with Ox was, hey, I'm gonna play this metal tabletop game. Who wants to be in? And Ox was like, yeah, I'll play. So, like, I had no frame of reference of how he got here.
Like, almost everyone came from 14, and then there's like a handful of people that didn't.
I know Van X didn't.
Yeah, that got it like suggested to them or something, which is like crazy to me.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, Twitch recommendation, I thought so. Was it a fucking tabletop stream? Are you kidding me?
We've done it. I am so happy with like the community that we've built. Like like you guys don't even know. I love all of you. Like I want to have sex with you, but like platonically.
Like honestly, like the community is like the thing that I'm most proud of. I was like, you guys are actually like kind. Like, how's that?
I have to verify everything. I ain't getting ratioed. I am not worried about that, in case anybody was curious about that. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? So today I'll be pulling in, like, random people. I will let everybody know that I'm pulling Vatna up first. Not right yet, because we have to...
So, just as a heads up, Overlay is going to be super weird. I'm testing out some stuff to see what I like. So, it's going to be a little bit weird. But we're going to see. We'll see how it goes.
Lady came from 14, but not the same way a lot of you everybody else came through 14.
We played 14, like, back in the long ago. In the, like, 2014, maybe? 1,000 years ago.
So like what she said, the overlay is going to be weird, and I will let you guys know when you want to come in. Feel free to RP in the chat. When you're RPing in the chat, you are RPing what's going on right now in the world. The scenes might be from like before this time period, or even maybe after the Weast. But you guys are all are going to be at the Weast, eating with Sal and Reedy, and like celebrating your success at saving Dyad over and over again. Except that you guys mostly caused the problems, and then save it and pretend that you were okay, and blame it on the Flamingos for some reason. Never mind, that's another story.
Honestly, right. Close enough.
Alright, so here we go. We are all, once again, in the auditorium. And Peanut comes up to the mic. Hello? Alright. As you all know, we will be leaving for the Secret Towers here shortly. We all know the mayor of the Secret Towers, Squishy, former member of the crew, has invited us all for a luxury stay there. We can stay at the hotel, courtesy of Krieg, and he waves over at Krieg, and Gemini, and he waves over at Gemini. They have said that everybody gets their room. Nothing else is comped. I have a long list of their pricing of all of their items on their minibar, and they do keep count. Lore, I see you have a special... I'm sorry, that was me. Lore, I see it's special instructions that no ghosts are to be taken care of. Lore, does anybody else have an allergy to ghosts? No. Okay. And he's just like, alright. And he closes up his little, like, file. And he just looks dead serious at the crew. We are representing the Silver Thimble. Please. You are going to probably see some people that you don't like here. And, like, he's just like, I'm well aware of the state between Gibbit and some of the crew. And I am well aware of the relationships of Bobbert and his family and some of the crew. I expect none of you to start an international scene. This is a feast in celebration. Celebrate. Be kind. And have fun. And like Peanut's just like, I will be staying as far away from Reedy as possible. And he's just like, alright, everybody get on the boats. And then we are taking boats to the Silver Thimble. Not Silver Thimble, you're at the Silver Thimble. You're taking boats to the Secret Towers. Like, all of you dressed up in your feast wear. You don't have to tell me it's like a special thing, but like, you can. You can black tie affair this if you want to.
And I would like to know what everyone's wearing.
Okay, what's everybody wearing to the Weast? Which is the East meets West feast, in case everybody just thinks I have a speech impediment. Alright. So, while everybody's on the boat for that, I'm gonna go to Vatna's little observatory that he made last season.
I'm actively annoyed by the fact that you can't pin highlighted messages. Yeah,
that is annoying. Hooray! Alright. So Vatna, you're in your observatory / laboratory. And like most of the stuff that you have written on the wall is from last season. So you have like locations of rift openings in the liminal plane, like and where they go. And I don't know, do you list what they taste like?
Absolutely, and what they sound like as well.
Oh yeah, okay. The musical resonance of those, like the songs that we know that the Liminal Plane song was Whistle Stop, but played on a violin. Turns out.
It's his favorite tune to hum.
Oh, I bet that's like just brings out a bunch of nostalgia for like, even if people don't immediately know it, if you walk past somebody humming the Whistle Stop tune in like the Silver Thimble, you can tell when somebody's from the liminal plane, because I bet it catches like yawning, you know? Like, and then like you'll get the entire city humming it for a little while, except for the people that are not from liminal.
I really like that.
Yeah, sometimes when he's up alone, he'll just casually start humming it to himself.
Absolutely. Right.
Also, fit check for Vatna. He will be wearing a laboradescent suit that he and Ceylon found in Gibbit. Or was it Dyad?
The Dyad was yesterday. You were at Continent, if that's where you were like,
yes,
running up Sal's bank account.
Yeah,
that salamander's broke. You guys did a lot of stuff. So I think Vatna, you recently ate out of that bowl with Gemini, and like you two ate it so fast, you like basically finished all of it off. And for everybody that wasn't paying attention, it was a canister of not sentient, but like moving ambulatory. Is that the word I'm looking for? black mold that killed an entire space station. But Vatna and Gemini just sat down on a bench and ate it like pudding.
Kept saying, one more spoon.
Right? And that was the first time you've tasted another reality since all of this started.
Made him so happy.
And it does show you, like, I think that tells Vatna... Oh, give me a 20-sided, would you? And once in a while, I will ask you guys to roll 20-sided, but a 1 is, at the worst effect, is going to be, like, you not learning information, not you dying. So he rolled an 18. Absolutely. So, I think this really reinvigorates Vatna now, realizing that there are still other realities beyond and beyond. So, like, I think Vatna... Like, and let me know if I'm doing this, if you don't like where this is going. But I think it kind of, like, might get Vatna out of a funk a little bit. Just, like, because we've established that taste is Vatna's love language.
His language, yeah. Not just his love language, but also how he actually communicates most of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really good. And you've learned...
it's been nothing but lemons. So...
Yeah, right? And it's like, but recently that you've been getting newer food from Dyad and maybe like slowly starting to actually eat what people are bringing in, realizing that this world also has good flavors. It's just interesting and new. Like, someone, like, they say that, oh, these, like, not, because it's canned goods mostly, we established in the mob game. And they're from, like, far away. And it's just like, you start, like, Vatna realizes that this world has a lot to it. It's way larger than the liminal plane. Like, this world is actually larger than all the places you went to in Season 2. All those different realities put together. And I'm pretty sure, I saw Kay talking to Vatna about their new camera.
Yeah, I was saying, it's like a dream come true, is what that picture depicted.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. Like, yeah. Oh, is that how we want Vatna to see that? Like, the slightly Silicon Valley, like, surrealist, like, way that it looks? Like, that just a bit off? You know what I mean? Is that, like, Vatna feels good because he's seeing a different world?
Maybe, or
do you just like what people look like?
A slightly tilted world. In a way that Vatna would describe it, and I cannot.
Okay, I understand. Well, I think I do. So, and now, like, wanting to get back into it because you asked me to, like, put this place back into it, because, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. I think Vatna might get the exploring bug, if that makes sense to you. Wants to push out further.
Everywhere.
Absolutely. And with that 18, you will... Like, we'll say Vatna tried to walk through the woods one day. Like, you know, it's dangerous, and you know you shouldn't have been out there alone, but curiosity takes precedent over basically everything.
The airship was unavailable at the time.
Right, like they've been taken out for so many missions, and it's just like, you hopped over to Dyad and then just walked the path. And like, Vatna is capable. We've seen Vatna take out Whitecaps on their own. Like, Vatna is quite powerful. And as you're walking through, like, your magic, like, you are feeling like the humming of this forest. Like, you can tell that this forest is not illusionary in any way, but it is made of magic. And like, Vatna's like walking through, and you are seeing the many different plant lives, and you are seeing the roses, but they seem to be like in the notes, in the reports that you received about this forest and about these roses were everywhere, were taking over everything. And like, you see them, but they appear to be pulling back. Like, the tips of them that you're seeing don't have any flower buds on them. They're just like not even like sharp thorns, like you could bend them. So something's happening with that in its own right.
They're pulling back from me?
They're not pulling back from you, but they appear to have been pulling back for like weeks. Because you were expecting to like, I'm picturing like Vatna with a machete, like expecting to have to hack through the rose underbrush, but it's nowhere near that level of like as reported.
No curious or incurious or
But then, like, I feel like Vatna makes it about halfway through the forest. Like, we would recognize it as halfway through the forest from watching the game where the four new arrivals walked through the forest. And they walked about twice as long as you have. And suddenly you just feel it. Like, you feel your AP start to drain away, and, like, your communicator starts, like, flashing danger. That you've gone beyond where your tower can keep you safe.
That's okay for now. I got the AP to spare on my own.
And as you keep going, like it gets more and more telling that roll me a 20-sider again. I didn't know I was gonna tell people to turn on 3D dice, but if you guys are gonna be in a scene, turn on 3D dice. I wasn't expecting it, but here we are. 7. Okay, so here's your tough choice. You can keep pushing on, and then the next thing that you will see something of like a hint. I will give you a hint of the next world. Of this side of the world. Not the next world, but I'll tell you some stuff about the next place. Or you can know the exact limit of how far you can go, so you can start gaining. You can start mapping out where else around this you'll have to start making towers. So either a hint, or, about me showing you the next world a little bit, or you knowing exactly how to get to those worlds. The east, the west, and the south. I'll tell you how to get to each one, where you have to build a tower.
Gonna be where to build a tower.
Okay. So yeah, I will update the map for you, and like I think it like Vatna gets to just exactly one more step and would put you unconscious. Like you can feel yourself not being yourself. Like you can kind of like feel a buzzing of somebody else telling you what to do. And really that is just you, but it's you if you were always part of this reality.
And I have a party to get to.
And you have a party to get to. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean that is basically how I want to do these scenes. I really liked that.
Goodbye.
Like, yeah. If you had anything else you wanted to know, or like another little tiny scene that you want to do, I could do that for sure. But I feel like.
Scene.
Right? So yeah, that was cool. I really had fun. Right? Fuck yeah. That's how I want these to go. That's out of character. I'm putting that in brackets. So how's the Weast, like, how's everybody dressing? Krieg is so fucking Krieg. It's nauseating. Alright, so I saw Akana, and I saw Cass, and I saw Ox in here. Are you all three still here? Like, are you all, like, could I call you into a scene? Alright, so please join the, play. I have a scene I would like for you. Awesome. All right, so you three are all here. Audio check and whatnot, real quick.
Yep.
Nice.
Hello.
Oh.
Nice. Wait, did I say toast? I meant Akana.
Oh, Akana's in here, but
Oh.
I can still go. That's
Oh,
fine.
sorry. Yeah. Real quick, I want Ox. I want Valentina, Cass, and Akana is who's the three that I'm looking for. I'm sorry, I fucked
No
that
worries.
up, guys. I do have a Krieg scene to do, and it's heckin' important. Yep, this is right. The three I have right now. So, you three. You three are the three that I know that use guns the most. Like,
Yeah.
pistols.
Word.
What's training look like for you three on the beach, you know? Like, non-lethal rounds, because we know that we have them.
Definitely doing a lot of quick draw training. Just trying to perfect my hand-eye coordination.
It's like, describe your handguns to me. Like, I know that each of you use different kinds. I just want to know what they look like.
I think at some point would have switched to a cute little 6-shooter. Just the tiniest little thing.
Oh,
But before of them.
And then I think one main 6-shooter and 3 tiny little Derringer pistols.
That's
hidden in various places.
That's adorable. I really got to make that Kira pew 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 sound effect card. We have the sound file. Akana, what's your death hand look like?
I actually thought about it recently. I've always managed, because I think at first I thought it was a death cannon. So kind of like a wrist-mounted cannon.
Okay, all right.
This kind of large, what do you call it? Ammunition.
Does it have like a ship, like a ship cannon feel to it, like a flared end like that?
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. For
So
sure.
you're like Boba Fett, but instead of a flamethrower, you literally shoot a cannonball out of that thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it explodes on impact. And I make
That's-
my own ammo.
Howl couldn't make it tonight, but like, he is also an ammo crafter, and like, I think after his you two's last adventure, he has been sharing something with you, a prototype. Can you give me a 20-sider, Akana?
Sure. I was looking for the link.
Oh shit. It is in the Speakeasy channel.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you ever said that you wanted to be in this game, and I just saw you in the chat and wanted you here. I'm actually picturing the the broadsider from Fallout. I think 4 and 76 both had it.
I
But,
haven't
like,
seen it.
Love that one. So overkill.
It's just fucking
Oh, I
hilarious.
didn't turn my dice on.
That's
I
fine.
rolled
So
an
you
8.
you rolled an 8. So Howl left the Gibbit with a couple like bullet holes, and he's been studying the bullets that like were left in him. Would you like information?
Right.
Would you like information on how they are made, or would you like a single intact one of these bullets? Like, you could load one of these bullets into your gun right now and shoot it. You would have one of them. Or you could know how to make them. You and Howl can learn how to make them.
Really wish I could do both those things, but I think for now I would just take a round to see how it works, and then maybe hit him up later at another time to find out how to make it.
Absolutely. So you have one death hand round that you know will destroy magic. You have a null magic tiny little cannonball.
Metal.
That's fabulous.
And Cass, like, you're from Dry Dock, right?
Sure am.
Yeah, Dry Dock has, like, many weaponsmiths, like, out there, like, it's dangerous countryside. That's from the east. What's your gun? What do your guns look like?
He has 2 futuristic break action like Schofields on each side of his hip.
All right, like very we talk like break action. We talking Bash the Stampede style.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or I guess also Gene Starwin like rocks those. Fucking 90s anime, right? But go ahead.
Yeah, he just has 2 futuristic break actions on both sides of his hip. Not too fancy, and then he also has that sniper rifle which he left at his shack today.
Absolutely. So, of the 3 of you, if we set up bottles in a row, who's the best shot? Like, who? not fastest. Who's the most accurate?
Oh ho ho!
I wish I had smaller ammo now.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, sorry. You like? Do you only use that gun? Like, do you only use Death Hand, or do you use the other one as well?
Oh, I'd use the trank gun if I needed to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not every situation calls for a cannon.
Right. So yeah, you got both. But I'm not going to make you guys roll for it unless you want to. You guys can decide who's the best shot.
What are we feeling here?
Val has some nerves, some confidence issues to work out still. They've gotten better since their green recruit days, but maybe occasionally there's a little bit of shake to those bug arms.
Okay. Cass is a seasoned bounty hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cass probably.
Right.
Definitely more time shooting than me.
For sure. So yeah, like we have 10 bottles stat up, and it just keeps coming back up. It's like somebody's like magic or something. It's like rewinding it. So it's just like you see Val shoot 7 out of 10. Pretty good, not great. Like Akana 9 out of 10, and just cast both guns like shooting outward to inward.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And like, so who's the fastest though?
I'd still say Cass.
That would still also be me.
We saw it happen.
I mean, I was gonna pitch a thing, and Akana, tell me if it's wrong.
Right.
What if you just go to the side and shoot your broadsider like through all of them at once, or your death hand through all of them?
I would definitely try that for sure.
Because I think that's a very funny scene of Cass like
through 10 bottles.
Yeah, Cass and Valentina like pew 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 pew, and then like blowing off their like, and then like Akana just walks to the side and just outsmarts the challenge. Like in my head, that's what I want to happen. So yeah, you three like what would you guys talk about? You guys don't have to have the conversation if you don't want to. But what are you guys' philosophies on your weapons and like killing in general?
My philosophy is if they had it coming, they have it coming. If you have done something bad, you know, you might end up getting a bullet.
And like you take anybody's like version of bad, like say no. So you started. We know that you were hired by Tom Honk. Mm-hmm. That was your first mission in the game, like, and we know that Tom Honks tried to kill Krieg yesterday. So like, does that? No, the crew doesn't have to know that you work directly for him or anything like that. We don't need to like go. I'm just wondering, how does that make Cass feel?
definitely betrayed, in a sense. Well, not betrayed, but like slightly betrayed. Technically, it's just where the money goes. You know?
It's all business.
Yeah.
Alright, respect.
I think for me, like early, my rookie days, I was just known for blowing things up. And I wanted to be smarter than that. Maybe take a different approach. Maybe be more tactical. So even though I got 2 motorcycles and shot them out of cannons, which is still metal as hell.
It is metal.
I think around that time I started to think I shouldn't default to blow things up because I need to get information and I need to know more. So I'd rather finesse around killing people. It's not really my first instinct. Actually, it never was. It just kind of happened that way a few times. And also when I got a death scythe that cuts reality, I was like, well, I could definitely use this to my advantage and like move me or people around. And so like, I wouldn't always choose my gun as the first weapon I pull.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think right at the end of this scene, like at the end of that conversation, who would do it?
I want to hear what Val was gonna say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Val. Go ahead. My bad.
I think Val doesn't talk, just sits and takes notes from these gunslingers as they're talking, but probably scrawls at some point on the notepad, just in ominous letters, "Mercy is death." Then put the notepad away. Low-key, Val has seen some shit.
I'm gonna tip my hat to that. I understand.
Understand very well.
I think, like, coming from like the city, you see one of the otters that works alongside Howl, and he's just like, "Oh, you guys are way out here," and like he opens up his like a napkin, or like not a napkin, but like a handkerchief, and he's just like, "Howl made these as well," and it's a round, another null metal round that matches for Valentina and for Cass's guns. So all 3 of you.
Amazing.
Get a null magic round. We don't know how to make them, but like he can modify what the metal that he had.
I'm gonna bake him something nice.
That is a very funny thing for a spy.
And then buy him a drink.
That's very funny. What does Akana bake? What is your "you gave me and my friends bullets" present? Like what is that baked good? Oh my god. Valentina did learn how to make the lemon bards over the.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, baking assistant. Shit,
I have an aversion to lemons right now because, good God, I can't take it anymore.
Oh my god! You 3 cooking lemon bars for
I love Clem, but I
for
can't stand lemon bars.
Same.
I was gonna say, Cass kind of looks at the bullet, and then kind of polishes it, and then puts in his vest. Says, "Thank you." And then on top of the lemon bars, he pulls out his flask and he says, "Care for a drink?"
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh god, hold on.
Take a swig, pass it.
I'm going too slow. Oh yeah, you guys keep RPing, getting drunk. That's great. So
no, man, we're just starting the, what is this, the Clay Club?
Alright, Van X, can you get in this call real quick?
I love Clem's lemon bars. I just can't get lemons right now.
Let's call Clem.
Yeah. Hey, let's get Clem over here.
You think you're gonna hint at 3 gunslingers baking together, and I don't want to do that scene? That's the only scene I ever want to do for the rest of my life.
The best.
Okay. Here we go.
Clem.
Alright, so you 4 are in a kitchen together. I'm fucking ready with these maps today.
I get an apron on.
I got the big disproportionate chef's hat.
I love it so much.
Clementine's got his recipe ready, I guess, if they're really making bars.
We're making lemon bars for Howl.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
he did us a solid.
So, okay, well, Clementine's like, are you okay? Are you sure you're okay with lemons?
Yeah, there we go. Like, do we want to change the recipe? Instead of lemons,
but
do we want to use something else?
He's like, there's you can use honey, you know, like it's not just lemons.
Honey bars. Like,
Honey bars.
Oh,
the way the kid in Super Troopers says candy bars. High on acid. Lemon bars. I mean, honey bars. Yeah, that's what I meant.
There's a mix of both.
Absolutely. I would love you
Yes.
guys to make lemon bars.
Oh,
Not lemon bars, honey bars. My bad. I said it too.
Yep. There's three kinds: the lemon bars, the lemon honey bars, and the honey bars.
Let's do honey bars.
Yeah,
do
honey
honey.
bars. All right, let's go.
Are these blue honey bars?
Yeah, now they're blue. They used to not be blue because the honey wasn't blue, but now they're blue.
That's right. They're
Because
magic.
they've always been a thing. He just never had to like pull them out except for Reedy. But now it's just like, yep. Now we're using blue honey, which I think alters the recipe a little bit. But he's messed with it enough to be like, okay, I put this much instead of this much. So
This is going to be amazing. I'm going to add a card that is blue honey bars. I'm going to put that in the item shop. I want each one of you to roll me a 20-sider and roll. You have to role play what you rolled. Like, if you roll a 1,
Okay.
tell me why it's a 1.
okay.
Unless, like, alternatively, don't. Just role play to your character, and I will decide what I think your role would. We can go either one of these ways. It's like if
I mean, I'm okay to roll, but like I'm also okay to do both. But like, I just want to get in there real
no,
quick.
that's fine. Like now we'll
Yeah.
just know. We'll know what you're supposed to be role playing.
Yeah, that'd be easy for me.
No,
We know Cass succeeded. Like he
Cool.
just barely succeeded though. You almost messed something up. What was it?
Okay. No, it worked. It worked. Almost added a little too much honey. It's okay. It's all good.
Can I tell you a real thing messed up baking by my sister in real life? She confused salt for sugar in pumpkin
Oh.
pie.
oh,
Oh.
oopsies.
It's a real bad mistake to make.
Critical.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a rough one.
You imagine 3 cups of salt in a pumpkin pie.
So wait, what was you almost added too much honey?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, it was just caught it at the end there. You got some honey on the counter, and that counter is going to be sticky for a long time, but that's how it is. But next, Valentina. Like, Valentina did great. Knows her way around the kitchen, obviously, from the time as a waiter.
Yeah, it's not their first rodeo. It's their 5th or 6th rodeo at this point.
That's a
And
large
I
number
think-
of rodeos.
Val's got like multiple utensils going with the multiple hands, just in the zone, and then double takes and see Cass pouring way too much honey and just drops it. Air traffic controller waves her arms around to stop,
Semaphores it.
and then makes a small correction. They look up to Cass as a gunslinger, but the kitchen skill, Cass, come on.
Tell him take a class.
I said I was a bounty hunter, not a cook.
Yeah, Val will just squint their eyes at them, but then get back to work.
Akana, you were successful too. Like, you nailed what you were after. Like, it's exactly as you expected. How'd that go? What'd you do?
I made sure my whisking motion was consistent around the bowl. I also temped the oven just right to make sure it didn't get too hot. A little bit of venting, a little bit of just making sure all the edges were nice and to the right temperature, warm on the sides.
I really
Heat was
like
going to the top.
I really like the idea of like you're not used to this oven, so like you kept like putting it in, like temping it yourself.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not messing this one up. That's absolutely amazing. And Clem, how did you change the recipe? How did Clem change the recipe to make it like exactly right for this?
I think he normally puts like so many lemons, so like in contrast to make sure it's also not too sweet, and usually like you usually makes it like too sour. Like he just kind of like maybe put like a third of like amount of like or I guess ratio of like honey to lemon instead of lemon. He just puts that much like more like honey. So, and I just like I think like he's also just kind of like he's still like unfamiliar with this honey, but he's just like kind of just like tasting it a little bit and seeing what to add, like more sugar and a little bit of like just whatever the other ingredients and stuff. Like, yeah, like he just kind of made sure his ratios were correct.
Everybody in the crew, like everybody like here right now, add blue honey bar to your inventory.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It heals 2 HP and 2 AP and can be used as a weapon that will deal 2 damage and slow the target that you hit with it. Because you like stick them in the honey.
Oh, they're sticky. Wait, put an explosive on one.
Right? Sticky
You
bombs.
can, yep.
I bet
That's what he uses them for
Clem
too.
is looking at it like, you know what?
Yep, he does that already. He's like, okay, I got an idea.
I love the notebook idea of it. Just like, you know what? It's so great. It all just came back to weapons.
He does that in his spare time. It's food and weapons. Like that's all he does.
I was gonna tell Cass and Val, if you guys didn't know, Clem is also excellent at making different kinds of acid, which I find very useful, on certain kinds of missions.
Oh.
Cass will definitely get back to you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Couldn't find
acid's
those.
killed
Give some
several of Val's comrades before.
No,
I am sorry to hear that.
I'm so sorry.
Bring that up.
It's all fair in love and warfare.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, Val.
I'm
Yeah.
picturing a World War I trench scene
I feel so
with like
Oh.
all the gunfire going over the top of it, but it's all just ants being like, Val, you ever think we're gonna make it home? And Val just pulls a cigarette out of her mouth and just like blows it out. I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. And then just acid comes pouring down, and like
Oh, no.
Val's running away from it like Indiana Jones, but Johnny's not fast enough. Johnny gets caught. Johnny burns up in the acid as Val hangs onto the side, getting her boots singed.
Why do I just imagine that as like a whole like PTSD event for some
Yeah,
reason?
that's what I was just picturing, and it snaps back to Val,
Oh no.
like
Oh,
stirring
no.
the honey.
Oh.
Stirs the honey, pauses for a moment, goes back to stirring the honey. Yes.
Oh. Sometimes
Hey guys, the vibes are most certainly off.
Val, are you good? Are you good? Are you good?
I'll look up and nod, give him 2 thumbs up.
Oh.
Okay. Just
But-
pats him on the shoulder.
Hey man, acid spraying ants, look it up, it's real. It's real.
Mhm.
They do that.
All right, that's as far as I think that scene's gonna go. But oh my god, I loved it so much. Thank you guys
Always
all
a
so much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Amazing.
fun.
Oh,
Thanks for having us.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yeah.
You guys are really selling me on this speakeasy thing so hard. Like, I thought it was gonna be good, but you guys are great. That I found hysterical and I absolutely loved it. But you guys let's go back to regular time now. So we are at the Weast. Sitting at the end of the table. And I have all of your tokens, but there's too many tokens. And you can't see anything. So imagine yourself in any of the chairs that you want to be in. So we're at the Weast. At the end of the table sits Reedy. To his right, Sal. To his left, Bobbert. And the representative from Gibbit, the head of the embassy in Dyad, is Lithium. And it's just like, everybody's having a great time. Again, seats are filled. Like, it looks terrifying when I throw all the tokens on it. Seats are filled. Everybody's having like a good time. Ghosts are coming out and feeding giving everybody their food, except for Lore. They are avoiding Lore, and for Lore, there's a little jellyfish guy that's swearing a lot, just dropping food. Krieg's the farthest chair away from Bobbert. Absolutely. And Bobbert, and he's just whining and dining the whole time. He's just like giving you guys toasts and telling Reedy stories of Liminal. He's just like, remember that time with that catfish? It's just like, it wasn't, and I didn't believe you when you kept saying it was there, but like I saw it with my own eyes. And it's just like, they all like raucous laughter, and Sal feels very left out. You can see, you guys can all see Reedy is like more jovial, in a better mood when he's near Bobbert than when he's near Sal. And like, I would think you guys would all just recognize the fact that, hey, Thaddeus isn't here. The librarian, like, he didn't bring him. But he brought Bobbert. Bobbert's here. And even Lithium is just kind of giving the side eye to Bobbert. And that is how the feast is going so far. Like, I think it's going well, unless you guys don't want it to be going well, but it is a lot of like old stories, and you can see Sal feeling more and more pushed out and like Sal will be like, and remember, like, and he starts talking about anything from Dyad, but Bobbert's just like, that reminds me of that time in Liminal. Oh, you remember Timothy? Crazy guy. And like, that's how the conversation keeps happening. So that is if you guys want to try to like steer the conversation in a direction, absolutely. You can all like have little quiet conversations amongst yourselves to decide what you're going to do about the current situation. And my monitor died. No, it didn't. Okay, we're good. While I wait for that, can I get Caustic? Who would Kay call into their dark room photos that you've been taking and develop? This isn't during the Weast. This would be like before the Weast, or even after. But who specifically would Kay bring in? Maybe like for science reasons, if not like not emotional reasons. You understand? Like, would you show Leo? Would you show Syria? Would you show? I mean, we know that Adley and you have already like looked at the at photos, but I don't know if you want to do that, then that's fine too. I think I broke Caustic.
It's pictured they're eating their noodles, and all of a sudden it's like they're being called on in class when they're not expecting it.
I have a good thing for Soki. Not Forgiven, you around? Able to come in for this one? Alright. So if Caustic and Not Forgiven can jump into the call, we can get a little bit of Kay and Soki role playing going on here.
I have arrived.
Alright.
Give me 1 second to adjust my volume. It apparently reset after my computer updated.
What?
You guys...
That's crazy. Never
You guys have
doing that before. Literally
Right,
every time there's an update ever, all of your audio is immediately warped.
I hate doing the Discord updates because like they always want to connect to my earbuds afterwards. I'm like, stop that.
No, I came in and y'all were at 100%, and I was like, ah!
Alright, Soki is definitely not in his beachwear for this one, I don't think.
No.
Aww.
I posted the whatever I was wearing from
Oh no, this is before the Weast.
Oh, well, it might be a beachwear. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Just right off the beach. Alright, so here we are in Kay's dark room. Developing photos and like you can either roll me a 20-sider and I will tell you what you saw. Or like some cool little anomalies that you've been picking up in your photos. Or, and you have narrative control here, what are some weird things that you might have been seeing in photos of Dyad or the valley under continent or even continent? What are some things that you think that you could have been picking up that you would specifically show to Soki?
Oh. I mean, we only been to continent the one time, right?
Yep, just the one time.
I feel like this requires me having more context on what's going on with these locations than I actually have.
I want you just to like freeform it. Just you tell me, and I will match the story to you.
Oh god. I'm trying to eat my nudes, sir. Let me think.
Like, you know Soki has been to the seasonings world many times, and multiple times. So like you could notice the similarities between the seasonings world and the liminal world stacked on top of this world. Like here we go. I'm just gonna give you these ones if you don't mind. Let me know if you don't like them.
Okay.
Okay. So your pictures, and you take pictures of Dyad, and like you come back and you develop these pictures, but you were looking at two separate pictures. Like, you know that you only took one picture of this location, but it printed two. Like, you are seeing, like, you've been here. You are looking at like double exposed on top of each other, but then you are able to separate them through developing the photos. So you have two separate pictures. Or, right.
Let's suspected. I mean, I've been suspecting that it's Pastura and the city with the two princes.
It is Duet and Pastura on top of each other. That is 100% what it is. And Soki has been to Duet, and like I think all of you have, but Soki has been more recently. And like Soki, you look at that picture of like you see the Pastora one, and that's cool because you know all about Pastora. But like looking at the picture of the seasonings world, you can see its magic and feel its magic. Like your eyes turn the teal color, and you can actively see the colors of magic. And then like you can look at the one of Pastura again, and like so you see the teal of like the liminal plane. You see your level of magic on that picture,
as opposed to the orange of the local.
And the orange of the local. I don't know if you can ever get a teal plus a different color to make orange, but whatever that other color is what seasonings magic looks like. The Duet City.
I'm just looking at this on the photos, right?
Yeah, just the photo. Like you can tell. Kay all about like the brands of magic, or like Kay's camera is splitting the two places and showing you where they came from is what it's doing.
So, Kay, you just brought me down here.
I did.
Show me these photos. You're just like, hey, look at these.
Well, you're probably one of the more magically inclined people that I know, and I figured showing you this would be a good idea. Seeing as you see differently, it's hard for me to pick out what it is, but there's something different with how you see.
Yeah. And I imagine that's about the time that my eyes start glowing. I start looking at the photos, and I'm just like, whoa, Kay, this is awesome. Like, where'd you take these pictures from? They're all that one looks like it's from Duet, and that one's from Pastura.
It is Duet. I hadn't been there recently, so I wasn't sure. So this is Dyad. I had to isolate the two images because they were overlapping, but this is what happened when I took a picture of Dyad.
Do you see this? The color of the magic? Or do you see the color that is emanating from these photos? The light teal and the orange as well.
Stop me if you don't like it. Kay, as Soki is pointing these things out, and you feel are aware of Soki's eyes being glowing and the way that his tattoos glow while he's like watching these. Soki, you see Kay start to glow very like their picture does when they talk, exactly like that. In Kay, you can identify exactly what he's talking about.
Well, he spoke about it, so now it exists where I can see it.
There you are.
Like, before he said anything, it just looked like these descriptions, but now that he said it, I'm like, oh, yeah, there's... Teal is written all the way through this one's description. What in the world?
Both of you, I want to give you, if you don't have the ability to detect magic, we will add detect magic to your character sheets. And when you use it, you can see both. Like, you can see the colors that make something up. Like, you have a new way of identifying where something's from.
Detect magic is the one that has the different levels. Is this going to be one that we need to use AP for, or just
this
like
is just the zero one? Just
okay.
the zero.
Neat.
Specialized get even specialer.
Look with your special eyes.
We know Charity's is purple. So, like, you guys, if Charity is in one of these photos, then they're purple. Oh, also, this is great. I like this. Kay, your little, like, egg timer or something goes off. So you know that you've been soaking this one picture at the perfect amount of time. So, like, you go and you do the clipping it up, and then you clip up the other exposure one. I'm actually trying to think of, do we develop two pictures for one thing, or is there like a 3D glasses feel, you know? Is it like red, blue, and if you put like the right lens on?
Like a magic eye kind of picture, like a stereoscopic picture.
I was thinking like you look at it from like the left and it looks one way, you look at it from the right, it looks the other way kind of situation.
Lenticular image.
Yeah, I mean I'm good with all of these. Like, however the picture camera presents to that person is how it presents to that person. If that's cool with everybody. So however Soki is looking at it, whether it's two pictures or lenticular, like when you're looking at it dead on, like it's really weird. Cause like you see a picture of this is Penny. 100% Penny from Parliament. Like, you are looking at a picture of a small owl. And it's just like, okay. And then you look at the other one, and you see this picture of this giant, literal salamander. And he has this tiny crown on his head. And he's sitting in this bog, and he's playing with a ball, and around him are hundreds of other, much smaller, but comparatively giant salamander.
Oh no, Salamander King and Penny became Salamander.
Exactly. And like, you know this, Soki, because like you see their magic moving in a certain way, almost like not a ghost, but like similar in both of the pictures. And then like when you do like the magic eye thing and see them both together and you see Sal, he has his own magic that is both of their spirits, energy, ghost, aura situation combined into one being. and their physical makeup too, but like you're more focused on the magical aspects.
That's awesome.
I had wonder who combined with the Salamander King.
It was Penny. Not everybody in this world is going to be that. Some of the people are like will not have existed unless their ancestors exist here.
But
and
he's
it's
a
much
big
more
main character, man.
Big main characters are gonna be your splits. Oh.
So, I'm gonna be looking at this. I probably wouldn't recognize the king, but I might recognize Penny.
Yeah, you would recognize Penny.
I kind of look at Soki and I'm like, do you know who this is? And I like point at the salamander.
I swear if Talali was in the chat, I'd be pulling Trixie out. I'd pull Trixie in
right.
so fast.
Ah, that would be so good.
I'm not sure if Soki knows per se, or I guess I don't know if Soki knows.
I'm trying to think of if we have any. Is there anybody that has a seasonings character? No, we don't.
I have Rose, but that seems.
Yeah, Rose wouldn't be right for the scene right now.
Right.
But
We'll see them later.
Oh dear.
But like,
I was concerned about Rose. There's too many Roses around for it not to be suspicious.
Soki, I know that I've seen you at the Diving Belle all the time. Roll me a 20-sider.
I believe in you.
It's my normal, huh? 17!
Nice. Just visiting and seeing how their magic works is not the same as like the information I need to drop right now.
Oh.
So, Adira, the owner of... That's how I pronounce it, right? The owner of the...
Correct.
Yeah, the owner of the Diving Belle. You almost never see her. Like, the Silver Thimbles mixologist. And recently, she's been getting, like, batshit crazy with her drinks. It's all, like... Before, when she was, like, working the bar, and every once in a while, she would be there pouring you guys drinks. And it's just, like, very, very good cocktails. But still, not magically good. Lately, they've been feeling magically good. You guys know that, like, when you go and hang out at the Diving Belle, you come out feeling better than when you went in situation. Not just drunk and loose, but, like, let's put it in, like, if you guys do some, like, serious RP in the Diving Belle now, like, you guys get an extra AP back between games.
Ooh.
Like, that, we're setting that up now, because Adira's mixing some magic lately.
Some enhanced drinks in the Diving Belle.
And she's been more, like, active there, like, mixing you drinks, Soki, and she's been talking about old times, and you mentioned the fact that you've been to the seasonings world, and she just talks about, like, how she misses the taste of salamanders from there, and how she wishes she could have just got her hands on that salamander king. And she's talking about him as, like, he is, like, the monarch of this... He was the monarch of a blown-out volcano that then turned into a swamp, and, like, he had a very peaceful kingdom, but, like, if anybody ever attacked, he was incredibly powerful. And, like... And now that you are, like, in this photo lab, like, looking at the pictures, connecting the dots, you realize that if you guys mess with Sal, you are messing with a much more primal, powerful creature than he looks. It's very Kingpin from Marvel. Like, he just looks like a big guy, but, like, how hard is it to beat a big guy? But this guy is big, and it still doesn't show you how strong he is. Like, you see the threat that Sal can be to you now. As on a purely physical level.
So we should probably not be pissing him off.
Right.
So, yeah, do you recognize this person?
I think I've heard stories about this one. This salamander king from the seasonings world. Adira's talked fondly of him, and you know he was in a volcano and he could cause eruptions with just the flick of his fingers, and he had his whole army and he was real powerful, or so she says.
Well, I'm sure Adira wouldn't exaggerate too much, right?
Yeah. And who was this a picture of originally?
Well, and Kay just shows him Salamander.
I think that right there is a really good part to, like, you pull the screen down situation. Like, it fades out as, like, we look at the picture of Sal, and it cuts to everybody just sitting around the feast, and Sal getting more and more disgruntled the more that Bobbert and Reedy get chummy.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you both for a very good scene. That was really great.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
And, goodbye. And remember, like, that detect magic is going to be permanent for both of you, and like the Diving Belle being able to restore AP through like role playing and stuff. I'm keeping that too. Like, that is just, those are the things that we are going to keep doing. All right. Charity and Osiria, I would like, and Adley, I would like all three of you, if that's cool. Hello, everybody.
Hello?
Give me 1 second while I set up the token. Because I didn't know where I was going to put everybody until I'm in it. There you are. Okay. There. 1 second. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I didn't know you guys would join so fast. I was like, oh, shit. Alright.
I'm sorry. Joins in the West.
Right? It's just like, click, 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 click. We're here. Alright. So, Charity.
Yes.
You have been working on your plants for a little bit. Like, doing a little science, I know that you are technically medical, but...
Yeah, I need to change that.
So, Osiria, you have just gotten back and, like, you're into, like, your swing of it. They've got the greenhouse fixed up again, and you've got your nice lab in the greenhouse. You have all the stuff. You have your little, like, bug, your little, like, aphid-looking dude, who is about the size of, like, a cow.
My weevil?
Yeah, your weevil guy. And he's running around, like, he's killing all the other bugs. Like, you're doing really great there. And, Adley has been, like, checking on the plants and obviously looking at the little weevils from outer space. Like, legitimately, you brought an alien. So I think Adley is very interested in just a little guy.
Yeah, I'm also technically from outer space, sort of.
Everybody's technically from outer space, but this is sci-fi outer space. But yeah, it's still cool regardless. But I think it's finally time, Osiria, you had to call Charity in. You've been studying this plant for like a week now since you got back, and it's the weirdest goddamn thing you've ever seen.
All right.
It's definitely of the same genus that is a rose bush. And like it does bloom flowers, but occasionally, not every time, but occasionally the flowers have eyeballs in them that are gray in color. They look around the room for a while and then they will eventually close back up, and when they open again, when the flower blooms again, it doesn't have the eyeball in it.
What a coincidence.
All right, and just to clarify, these are the roses, correct?
These are the roses.
The ones
These are the charity roses.
Okay.
If Charity is not info dumping, Adley is probably.
Charity's a little distracted by the aphid, the weevil. But no, Charity will explain how they like fed their blood to a plant. There. So she's. Sorry, I'm just trying to think how she would. My theory is that they are seeking magic. At least that's how it felt. And once I fed it my blood, it took off with it. However, now my concern is that I'm not sure if it started out necromantic in nature, or if that was my doing. And they explain like the rose dragon.
Actually, so I was I visited Midnight in the hospital, and he told me about this adventure he went on, and they found a bunch of these roses, and he said he doesn't think it was you.
My mic. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
He doesn't think it was me. I do know when we encountered the ones in the city with the big rose dragon, the eyes had changed. They were no longer
You mean
my eyes.
the one that ate my tower?
Yes, the one that ate your tower, and I am sorry about that. It also ate a lot of other things.
Technically, B ate your tower.
Well, yes, but I don't hold that against B.
Technically, that was me as well.
We were trying to get rid of, a dangerous thing in the...
Right,
anyway,
it was actually about to stab
no.
my heart, but...
Midnight did say something about that. He thought it was someone else. I think it has to do with that brimstone person that we were tracking the first time that we were actually on a recon mission to get some books, and apparently they were in Sal's tower, and when we went to Sal's tower, we found a secret room after getting a key off of him, and Kay told me not to say things like this. Oh no.
Syria? During that that bit right there, I think you should roll me a 20 side.
I don't recall smelling brimstone.
Alright, not bad.
Alright. So, yeah, Syria rolled an 11, which is a success. I think as Adley's going on about the events, you guys see Osiria wheel out a chalkboard. and it's just it does state primary composition, brimstone, and then unearthly magic, and then percentage, it's a pie chart of how much magic is from which world. And you see that it is a very strong mixture of magic that if Kay has been sharing the information with the science section, which I assume that they would, I have no reason to think we're gonna this scene is right after Kay shows the colors of seasonal magic. You see that it is part seasonal magic, part Charity's world magic, so it's part purple, and it's part this world's magic, so it's orange, purple, and then whatever seasonal's color was, because turns out orange and teal nullify each other. So it's got to be just a color that kind of doesn't exist.
Oh. So sort of like how black holes eat light.
Maybe, but I think it has to be an actual color though, because I want it to. I don't want that world to just not have a color because of it. I know how it works.
I mean, there is actually a color that scientists came up with that is the darkest black.
Oh, I've
is
seen
a
that.
color.
That one doesn't act. It doesn't fit seasoning. The seasonings world. The seasonings world is very like whimsical and lighthearted. So I don't want it to be like Vanta Black or Black 4. I want it to be like magenta or like so bright pink. Like I had a pair of pants that were the best pink. So like something like that is how I'm actually picturing it, despite the fact it doesn't make sense. But Charity, you see your own magic on this chart. And like not just your own magic, but like broken down mathematically.
Oh. Intriguing.
I think Osiria probably got help from Rennick on that.
Most likely.
Actually,
yeah.
Since Adley sort of does some weird magical physics, can they kind of take a look at the note?
So yeah, you can read it. It reads out and makes sense, but like because Osiria and Rennick have a background, draw on that one a little. Those two put this together. And Osiria, you definitely you can do the whole chalkboard thing, showing everybody this is it's chemical composition and magical composition from your time in space, and you spent months there. So when it wasn't just Gemini talking your ear off, Rennick was very math based, explaining how just the random stuff worked.
Right.
And I don't know how interested you are in it. I'm sure they both made it interesting, but I definitely believe there's a point in time when you and Casper and Pollux all just put headphones on to block out the sound of them jammering. But and then also drawn on your board is the root system of these roses. And Adley and Charity, it's wild. You both recognize it pretty quickly that you guys have seen mandrakes, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The root system, and this is just drawn out. It's hypothetical from a serious point, but with an 11, we know that they are successful in learning about this. It looks like, what if Charity was a mandrake? What if a root was growing to into a person, and that person was Charity?
Oh, sort of like how magically you would make a puppet?
This can't be coincidence. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Is it mimicking me? Is that why it defiled all those graves? Not that I would defile graves, but...
Oh, Syria, the information that you would have is, yes, it does seem to be gathering corpses in order to use necromantic magic to create new bodies.
Okay. I guess... do we know whether or not this is because of what Charity did, or...
Mathematically and through scientific research and whatnot, you would, and through your in touch with nature yourself. Yeah, so putting all of this stuff together, it's yeah, they mixed magic, and then somebody else, after it was done, you see you can point to the chart and be this purple part, this is where you came in. The orange part, this is where you interacted with this world. And then that sliver of other color, that was somebody else changing Charity's spell.
Okay.
And I did not intentionally cast a spell. It was my blood. So somebody had to know... No, that doesn't make any sense. No one else knew I was here except for the Wandercrew. And then Litty did also examine me at some point.
Litty?
Oh, it wasn't an examination. It was... Pym had this... When I first met Pym. And before she shot me, it was by accident. There was some kind of scope on her gun. And it could see that I was purple, which she gestures at the
Oh,
pie
that's
chart
why you
on
asked
magic.
if you were purple in the library.
Correct. That was the first thing she said to me, was that asked why I was purple, and I didn't understand at the time, and apparently it has to do with the color of my magic, which is different from the, orange and teal, because I am not of this world, and I happened to come across right when I suppose there was a blending, you could say, collapsing of worlds on one another.
Mixing of different planes and dimensions, most likely.
Correct, and so therefore I am quite unique in this world. Litty would have seen that the first time I arrived around here, when I came to join the Wandercrew. The only other question I have is, what about, there was another monster, was not connected to the rose dragon at all, but it wanted my magic, and it had a trace of my magic within it. I'm still not sure what happened to that. Malone put it to sleep, and it went underneath into the sewers, and I suspect that Litty and the other people of Gibbit, who were there at the time, removed it. And I have concerns now.
Adley looks mildly worried when they mention Gibbet.
Osiria, would you... How adventurous is Osiria? Like, as far as, like, testing this, like, the new technology that they have found with these roads? Like, how far would Osiria push it?
Not super far exactly, but like more than she would have before everything happened with the away team, but still not super far. Like, trying to think of the best way to phrase it, like it would still be like very controlled testing, but it also might be a bit excessive.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. All right, so I imagine, like, this is the part, like, so Osiria just, like, goes to, like, a curtain and pulls back a curtain, and behind it is another rose plant, but, like, it doesn't have the eyes that, the first one does, and it's moving around much more actively, and it's almost like a snake. Like, it has become animalistic. And then, like, like Osiria's showing it off, you basically plugged it into a mana battery.
Oh.
It feeds on magic.
You know, that's probably not a good idea, considering that the people of Gibbet literally grind up people and things to make those.
I think that that might come off as incredibly racist in this situation, because do not know that they grind up people, and like they've never said that we have said that they can, not that they do.
I guess, yeah, Edley in that situation would probably actually say that they can, because if they don't specifically have the information, Edley's not the kind of person that would jump those conclusions, because they are kind of very logical.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, right.
So someone's... Okay, so there's the root system that looks like Charity, kind of like as a mandrake.
Yep.
And...
But that's just a drawing. That's just hypothetical.
Yeah. Okay. But... So someone did come in after they gave their blood to the flower, the rose bush. Someone came in after that point.
Yep, somebody did something to the roses after you.
And the one attached to the mana battery, that one is not like vampiric or anything. It just
that one's crazy vampiric. That one's like if that thing touches any other plant, the whole like ecosystem of silver thimbles going up.
So just like it was with the Rose Dragon. Okay.
Yep. Just like it was with the Rose Dragon, but that's not how this plant, like the charity one, act. Like it's putting a fourth thing on it. If you use the mana batteries, they get weird. They become monsters.
So I need to find the source of this here, and she's pointing at the pie chart with that unknown magic. I need to find who did that and perverted. Well, there's only so much way you can go with necromantic magic, but for it to become as horrible as it did. And I do bear some responsibility for this. I want to find out who that is. I must talk to Midnight, and I must find who smells of brimstone. But I'm still curious as to the other thing. And I'm telling you, Gibbit has a hand in it.
So that's all partially theoretical. We know that... Oh, Karam's gonna... nobody tell Karam this. We know that Gibbit grinds up magical creatures to make the mana batteries. Well, some of them. Let's be specific. There's a lot of people that live there, and I don't know all of them. But there were poachers, so...
I know that, out of character, I know that, God, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, that's where I messed up, is out of character. I was like, oh, I know this thing about them using people. No, wait, Adley doesn't know that.
I had a thing I was going to ask, and now it's just like, as soon as I started to ask. Because there's something I know out of character that I'm not sure 100% that Charity would know yet. It's something that was just...
If it's anything from the spy game, or anything from the mob game, it is not known to all characters yet.
I don't think it was that. But I've already, like, sorry, I don't know what happened, like, was there 1 second and then I completely, like...
That's okay.
Blanked on it, what I was gonna ask.
Oh, see, if you flip that blackboard and you see a map of this side, where is the heart of this rose bush? Where is it in the world? Like, if we were going to do a game that was taking out this, like, getting rid of the roses, or, like, solving the rose problem, where would it take place? Just for, like, your heads up, the roses originally came from over here, where I'm clicking now, and then, like, Charity and the crew that killed them, destroyed the first thing and fed it blood is here. But I've established that this thing moves quick, so it might be anywhere in the world. So just go ahead and give me a click and tell me where it is.
I feel like, as, like, it's either got to be, like, somewhere, like, I feel like this is kind of the obvious answer, but, like, I feel like it's got to be either in the heart of the forest or somewhere just past that.
Okay, so it went deeper into the forest.
Because, I mean, they basically, like, they feed and attach themselves onto plants, right? Like, so logically, I feel like they would go deeper into the forest, which is full of plants for them to get. And even further then, it's a magical forest, and they do like magic, so...
Oh, is that why Vatna was only seeing, like, tail ends of them? Because, like, the whole the rosebush as on a whole is leaving that forest and going west further? Is that what we just said?
Oh,
that's amazing. You have no idea why that's amazing. Amazing.
This sounds like something we should nip in the bud, to pardon the pun.
I am not entirely sure what you mean by that pun. However, Osiria, can you inform me how some of this math works? I'd love to know, and I'd love to help you with the plants, since this also seems like an absolute disaster that might happen.
I would appreciate any assistance you can give.
Does that mean I can also stay here and also hang out with your friend? At least, like, trying to make friends with the little alien weevil. It's so happy about them.
That right there
Aw.
feels like the end of that scene situation. It really does. So we will, so Charity, I think over the next couple days, even after the Weast, you start feeling like a weird anxiety leaving you, like the ever presence of the roses, and you guys the crew gets less and less reports on the roses. Like, it just doesn't, it's not coming up anymore. Like, people like wandering up and down the coast, not coast, but the edge of the forest aren't seeing them. Dyad has not been attacked by them again. Like, once they like cut them down, they're cut down. There's no, and like when roses regrow, it's just normal roses, not eyeballs. But like, Charity, you are 100% convinced that it is still out there, and based on Osiria's math, it was moving west somewhere.
Okay.
And we know, and Adley can like do the charts of it from navigation, and it's just like, we don't have the communicator tower's like presence enough to go that far. We need to get on this. If we want to stop these rose bushes, we need to build the towers to make travel more stable.
Okay, that means a trip to the science and engineering departments.
I'll ask Leo.
Yeah. I would also like to speak with Leo, if you could arrange a meeting for all of us to be there, so that I can explain why we need to go there.
Oh, I take him to his lunch hour as per our scheduled agreements, because Leo has a bad habit of not eating.
Oh, well, I'm sure the conversation will not help increase his appetite, I'm afraid.
But I think that scene ends here. I think we can have like the Leo scene another place. Mostly because I actually think that in that conversation we would learn that it's actually this conversation you want to have with Patagon. Because Patagon is like, and Ceylon and Patagon are in the communications department. They're in charge of the towers. The engineers do help build them for sure. But I was just like clearing that one up for everybody.
Okay.
But no, like, that one really good. Oh, I'm cutting out again, apparently. My bad. But no, I really like that. So we set up, like, oh, you guys, you have no idea what Osiria just did by telling me it was further west.
You're welcome, y'all.
I am so excited.
We could have had that game. We could have had that game in April and, like, solved that problem. Like, it just would have been the bloop, like, nip it right in the bud, as they said. But we instead decided to be like, hey, let's push that out. And you guys don't know what's over there, but I do. Like, I'm looking at that map right now. I was like, oh, that's a bad place to put a vampiric plant.
Oh, I'm excited and terrified. Wonderful.
Well, look, Charity causes ecological disaster the first session. She's going to keep that trend up. You know.
All right. Well, thank all three of you for coming and playing that. That was great. You guys are great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, so what do we do next? All right. So how's the feast going? Getting drunk. Good. 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 All right. Oh, I went to the auditorium. All right, everybody. Like during the feast, Sal's getting more and more irritated. Sal, and that is what I'm gonna do right now. Oh, I'm gonna roll for Sal, and I'm gonna roll for Bobbert, to see how they both are doing with the, convincing Reedy that they like him more. All right, so Sal rolled a 9. And Bobbert rolled a 10. That's very funny to me. Did my die not come up? Oh, Nika might not have enabled 3D dice.
I in fact did not, but I did just enable it.
That's funny. You're gonna make Sal's a 10 too. Alright. So like the two of them are just vying for like the attention. And Reedy's just like, that's enough. I want to hear from the crew. Like, how was your time in this new world been working out for you? Like, it's been taking a lot of work for me to get used to it. And obviously, our friends from Gibbit have been like really helping us along, bringing me technologically up to speed. And you guys see Lithium just like give a little salute. And he's like, so what have you all been up to? Like, how have you been like dealing with this new world? I heard some rumors about some trouble up in continent. I heard that you may have caused a little problem. But I'm sure that's all just a misunderstanding, correct? I was like, I'm sure that we can all just get along quite well, yes? And like Sal's just like looking at Bob and says like, I am proposing to outlaw the use of this, and he raises both of the giant salamander hands, magic from Dyad entirely. And I plan to strike down a very efficient prohibition on the use of these dream crystals of these flamingos. And I am sure, I have it on good authority, that I can trust a lot of this Wandercrew in my prohibition. Isn't that correct, Krieg? And he looks down the table and he's like, I expect support from many of you. Looks at Kay and Adley and looks at Midnight, and not Midnight, Zachna and Clovis. They're there and just like looks down at all of you and he's like, I expect a lot of you believe that these flamingos and he's like, Gibbet might not have the best interest for Dyad. Can I expect all of your support when I begin running for one true mayor of Dyad? I can expect your support, can I not, Silver Thimble? We must take our world back from these flamingos. And Sal, like seeing the lack of support, like grumpily sits back down. I will win your support in time. You will see that I am the better option. I'm just reading the chat now. it's clear that he said more than he wanted to in his like frustration with Bobbert. And like Bobbert's just kind of sitting there smugly fixing multiple ties. And he's just like, fine. Just back to your feast, everyone. Back to your feast. And you see him just like shoveling a lot of food. Like, an abnormal amount of food. Oh, I know what scene I want to do. Can I get Karam, Krieg, and Nickel? If you guys are available.
Are you sure this time?
I'm sure this time.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh wait, that's right. It's like token 3 or something like that. Found it. We can use Krieg's actual token today. Alright. So, in my head, this is you all in the gym, in Karam's gym, right before the Weast. Like, you know that you're about to leave for the Weast. And, like, you guys have gotten information that there will be folks from Gibbit, and there will be Bobbert will be there. Like, before you even heard the heads up from Peanut, you were warned that there will be flamingos there.
We get done with dyad, then consonant, and now we have to try not to get into a fight.
As much as we all want to murder the flamingos, this would be, as Joaquin would say, a terrible mistake and ruin the reputations for the bulk of the crew. So we can't openly do this.
Yeah, as Pound told, well, no, actually Penny would have said that. Pound would have been all for the big old war. Penny would have said, no, you do not want to kick ass today.
So do your best to just keep your eyes and ears open, and the more information we know, the better we can go about this. But if they happen to trip and hurt their faces, that's one thing.
I'll try not to laugh too much.
So, go ahead.
No, that was just a sigh.
So, you guys know that you will be seeing the flamingos, and obviously, accidents are accidents, but what was I gonna say? You guys, do you want to try to like gather intel there? Like, you can give me some rolls, and I can tell you some extra stuff.
We also know Gibbit will be there.
Yeah, you know the Gibbet's gonna be there.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think right now we need to focus on one front. I understand that Gibbet and the flamingos will be a problem in due time, but I think we need to focus one down before both become too big of a problem to handle since we split our focus.
Yeah, but at least one advantage, I think we got some information that they don't really like each other that much, so I think our big question is which one do we think the rest of the crew would be able to handle getting information on, and which ones are we better suited to take a look at?
Well, based on what Akana's note said from their last mission to Gibbet, might be easier if we focus on maybe the Flamingos, since they were able to do quite a number in their city, from what I understand. Plus, we did help Adley and those guys hide some bodies, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I don't think that, at least with how people view Gibbit right now, I don't think that we can make any moves in the open against them.
Yeah, not to mention with all my ice stuff and ice magic, I'd probably be a real tempting target for them right now.
So, take down the Flamingos first and deal with however we choose to deal with the Gibbit, whether it be peaceful or otherwise.
Plus, with that giant robot that Royce and them brought in, not a lot of people like the Flamingos. Rumors are to be believed.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
We'll have the. If I remember correctly, one of the reports I read said that Tarkus had been hacked by them as well. So we might even have Leo on board for this one.
Oh, wait, they hacked that cute little robot thing? Oh, jeez,
yeah.
those jerks.
I think that we know our target then.
Absolutely.
Now the real question is, how do we go about this?
All right, and with that, I want the screen to fade to black. Not that scene's over yet, but that we are like caught up in time. We are currently playing as the time goes. So what Sal just said in his anger, actually. Oh wait, sorry. I know Krieg's on the other side because he said he's as far away from Toast and Bobbit as possible.
Okay.
All right, and again, imagine all the other seats are filled by the everybody else in chat, and it's just like, so that explosion happens. Like Sal is disgruntledly eating. Like, you just said what you said in chat about it's like it's not like gotta recuse yourself situation, and Sal is fuming, and like if Bobbert had a mustache, he'd be twirling it. That is where we're at, and you all can see there are multiple flamingos around. Bobbert bought a bit of an entourage, but you don't see any of the big ones, any of the names. But this scene has become kind of tense recently. After that,
seems to be more people I don't recognize here than I like, huh, Krieg?
Yeah, everywhere we go, there's always more. Oh, thank you. I recently have stopped drinking Soke. Here's another one. As he is talking with some other people and occasionally bringing up different facts and offering business cards to the ones that seem interested in. That explosion probably shouldn't have happened.
No, but to be fair, this is the sort of thing where I don't think it'd be a good idea for us to be, well, at least our group, our little group, probably wouldn't be a great idea for all of us to be providing too public a support, just to be safe.
Yeah. Too much in one basket is never a good thing. Can I...
Says the greediest lizard we've ever met.
Sorry?
And I have played tabletop games where I have literal dragon.
Well, how do you think he has the proper experience to know that?
Fair.
I try and trip one of the flamingos to try and make a lighthearted scene, since everyone's so tense.
You're gonna trip a flamingo to get everybody to laugh?
Yes.
We can try it. Yeah, you don't even have to make a roll for it. You definitely tripped this flamingo. Hey, chat, who laughs?
I did. I thought it was funny, at least.
Prom seeing it, he gives a little chuckle and then just kind of looks away.
1 prank point to Krieg.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was paying attention to something else. Here, let me help you up. Oh, thank you, Val. It's very kind. Yeah,
Do you want to pretend you didn't just trip him, or like, are you just like everybody knows? Because that part's gonna be a roll.
I don't mind. No, everybody here knows I don't like flamingos.
Okay, all right. And it's just like Bob is just like, hasn't changed.
Ah, sounds like you both have something in common.
Believe me, you have no idea how much we've changed. I've changed.
For the better,
you
for the
seem
worse
shorter
with those
for
drugs.
some reason.
Well, I mean, you have changed. That's unfortunate. I always heard of you as, such a nice guy. I'd hate to think that part of you changed.
Especially with all those drugs that were in Dyad. Didn't think that you'd have to resort to selling drugs to make a quick buck.
If you ever need some assistance, I know some people that can help you back up on your feet if your businesses are going down.
Oh, I know somebody that would really love to talk to you again, too. Perhaps another trip to Continent.
I'm sorry, but I've been banned from there, so it would have to be somewhere else. My apologies.
I'm most assured none of you are banned from Continent. You may all come back at it.
Well,
I promise.
if
He
you
looks
say
up and
so.
down.
Well, thank you for your courtesy, I guess is the right word on that point. I have to admit, the relaxation was nice, but I don't know. Relaxation never seems to go well for me, so we'll see how things go.
You're all welcome. I do have to let you know that you're welcome to come back, but all of you will be thoroughly charged with the murder of one of my beloved staff.
Asp, what happened?
Oh, they were strangled to death by a Lady T, I believe. And then
Never
puppeted
heard of her.
and lied to his wife.
Kinda gets a hand in front of his face. That sounds terrible. Do you have any description of what this person looks like?
It is you know very well who Lady T is. And
I've
Bob
never met her
slams his
before in
fist
my
on
life.
It's like,
if you remember, I was taken hostage by a duck.
No, Krieg, I believe what actually happened is there was an unfortunate incident where you had too much to drink, and then there were just some unfortunate circumstances.
Bobbert stands up at full height and he sloshes his drink. And it's like the punishment of your previous actions are yours alone.
Hey, just because I got drunk doesn't mean that I should be punished. Everybody's getting drunk. I mean, look at you.
And it's just like, we're leaving. And he throws his glass down. It's like, thank you for the invitation, Reedy.
Have a wonderful time.
He stomps off, and Sal's just chuckling. But he gets up. It's like, I think that might. And you see him fix his cummerbund or whatever, pull it tight again. And it's like, I think that might be enough for tonight. I think we all could agree.
Yeah.
And
yes, King Reedy, just want to say there, this has been a wonderful Weast. Unfortunately, I'm sure that, we all have to learn how to get along, and looking back at Bobbert's receding form, and, not just when getting along, even when things aren't always going your way, but I'm sure Sal will make a great example of, how that properly.
Just because the party poopers left doesn't mean the party has to stop, and he kind of throws his arms up in the air. Who's ready for a dancing competition over in the ballroom?
Oh. And Soki's just leading the charge. Weast, and then you just watch Lithium like hop off her chair, and she's like, "I'll be going too. I feel like I missed some context."
Oh, if you ever feel the need for parties or help, she hands out a business card. Be happy to set up a market square in your lovely city.
What would you serve?
Well, we serve lots of things. You name it and I can come up with it.
She takes the business card and like puts it in her pocket. And she's like, "We may be in touch." And then there's like, she is wearing over top of her armor, like her like normal stuff, she's wearing like a full-length black gown, and she's doing that thing where you take really, really little steps so it just looks like she glides out of the room.
Right, who's ready for that dance-off?
Yeah, I guess then we have a dance-off. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'll try. At least I'll try not to literally break a leg or something. No guarantees.
Here, Leo's Fight the Dancer.
Oh, shit. Leo slides in on his forehead. But,
go,
right?
Leo.
It's just the beginning of Bill Nye the Science Guy, though. I don't know why I want to break dance to Bill Nye the Science Guy, but I do. Alright, that is actually going to be, you guys can continue the RP, like, either, I don't know what you guys want to do, this is going to be the last scene for this one. I feel like this went really well, and I would like to see a lot more of these. I'm sorry if I didn't get to a scene for your character, like, I really am. I wish I had, like, a time for absolutely everything, but next time we'll try to do even more scenes for more people, now that I feel like I've got a handle on it. Like, because I didn't, when I started it, I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, but, like, you guys really, like, took to the RPing, and I love it. Fucking love it.
Like when you make pancakes, the first one never turns out perfectly, but the next ones always are.
Right? It's just like, alright. And, like, me and Nick are both talking about kind of incorporating this kind of thing into the game more often, like pulling people from chat into the game for scenes.
Which is something we did, like, before. Not, like, all the time, but it was certainly something that was an option. But honestly, like, we've just been getting all the characters and introduced and everything for the last couple months, so now we can actually, like, switch gears and start pulling people in when, like, the scene really calls for it, when it makes sense for their character.
Alright. So, yeah, like, next time I'll get, like, Leo in here so we can do Leo Target's thing. Like, I feel I want to do one, but, like, I don't got the time right now. I really gotta go to the bathroom.
As is pretty standard, I think.
Tradition.
So, yeah, please, like, if you guys, like, go to the Diving Belle in the RP channels, like, do your dance-offs, like, please, and, like, we got the prank cards are up, so you guys can start doing the pranks on Saturday. Please come for Saturday, because it's going to be a wild game, kind of like this, I think, is the direction it's going to lean, so, like, everybody might show up on the game at one point in time or another, so...
Yep, and I'd also like to note that if you're going to do the dance-off competition in Diving Belle or one of the RP channels, if you look in Discord RPOC, there is a thread called Roll Spam where you can figure out who's actually the best at serving and who's the best at getting served.
Right? Leo slides in on his forehead again. Leo slides out on his forehead. He never got off his forehead both ways.
I'll be taking bets if anyone wants to make some bets out there.
A nightmare situation. But thank you all for, like, making this, like, really work. I really like how the framework of this, like, I see some spots how we can tighten up, but I think that this is going to be a regular thing going forward.
Yeah. It gave us a lot of a chance to do some setup for future games so that we can get to, like, I don't want to be, like, the good part, but kind of. for your characters. So I think that'll be fun. All right, then we're gonna wrap here, and we will see you on Wednesday for Rosie and Nameless's birthday game. Also, 100 points.
Oh yeah, okay. I gotta give one of those to
Adley.
Adley as well. Yep. All right. So,
All right. Then
goodbye,
we'll see you
everybody.
Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye forever.